Tyler Perry.
Yo.
Oh yeah, Tyler Perry. Come on, tell me about Tyler Perry.
I mean, on to the same topic. It's a clip.
Yeah, there's a clip. Let me get it.
It's right there.
Okay.
Mel got
Tyler Perry.
Mel clipped up.
Misclip him. Clip him down.
Listen,
And Mel squared up with me earlier too.
Especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man and is good to you, and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill, as long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've had the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then, that is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not.
It's not fine.
First of all, one of the things I take issue with is just how he worded all of that. Talking about how the man, found you at your worst. That is an assumption. Like, the narrative.
Your worst.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, it's not like,
He
I
did.
thought he said he loved you at.
He loved you at your worst.
And it's just like, that's such an assumption. That's such a created narrative that he pulled out of his ass. What is he even fucking talking about? What if you didn't meet her at her worst? What if you met her at her highest point? The only thing that was quote unquote missing from her life was a significid other or her husband, but everything else was coming up roses in her life. Like the narrative is just
negate what he was trying to say, right? What if he did meet her at her highest point? That doesn't negate
highest,
his end point.
middle, lowest, whatever. It just the way he worded it and saying it met you at your worst and was an honorable man, basically picked you up, dusted you off. I didn't like the way that was worded. That's number one. Number two, doing the comparison. Let me just ask a question in terms of like guys. What guy is going to be able to egotistically handle his woman being the breadwinner? You don't think that that's going to cause long-term problems?
I have a problem with how that question's framed, but there are plenty of men that not only can handle that, but do handle it.
True.
Okay.
You position the question like, what man will like?
No.
I'm
I'm not saying, well, what kind of man? Like saying that that's some fucked up shit. But like, honestly, a lot of the experiences that I've witnessed, not my own. Well, no, actually, yes, I've had a couple of my own experiences where my career was on the ascension and his was on the downslope, and it was horrible. It was horrible. Nothing that I did, in no way, shape, or form could I make this man happy because he wasn't happy within. And he made my life a living hell. And it happened twice in my life. And then there's other experiences that I've witnessed from very close girlfriends where if they were the breadwinner, there was just significant, interpersonal issues. So that's why I posed the question, like, how many men would be comfortable with having their woman be the breadwinner, primary breadwinner for a lengthy amount of time where it doesn't start to affect him.
I think there are plenty of men that behave in the manner that you're talking about, and I think there's a bunch of men that handle the role extremely well. I don't think his message was speaking to the men though.
No, he was definitely speaking to women, and he was basically saying because he's.
So how does it get back on us? He talking to the women saying some shit.
Yeah, no, I was not okay with the way that it was worded, and I was just not okay with the sentiment that a woman is supposed to and it's always directed towards black women. That's the thing. It's like that's what he said. He was speaking directly to black women, not women in general, but black women. There is more. I can't tell you. My circle of girlfriends runs the spectrum in terms of race and nationality. And every single one of them basically says that they're having the same difficulties when it comes to dating. So to direct the commentary to black women just really kind of was irritating. And a lot of women took issue with the fact that he directed it towards black women and just basically said that you're supposed to resign yourself to certain concessions that you don't really feel like you should have to. You know, when you think about all of the stuff that you like want to manifest for yourself, or, you know, goals that you want to attain and stuff like that, a lot of the time what you want is you want a partner that can share in it with you.
Like a nigga with money. A nigga with money.
Well, you want to be equally yoked. That's the term. You want to be, if you're making,
you want a nigga with money.
If you're making money, you
Then
would
you want
like
a
to be
nigga with money.
equally yoked.
You don't yoke me.
No, can I ask you a question?
You want a nigga with money.
Can I ask you a question? So when he rich,
Wow, that was aggressive.
So when he's rich, can he say, "I want her to be equally yoked"? When he's rich, can he have
Sure.
that same stipulation and say?
Sure, he can.
But he'll get roasted when he says that.
I don't know. A man
I
can
just want the women that want niggas with money to just say, I want niggas with money. I don't need the fancy term, equally yoked. I don't need, like, women that are making coin want, and women that are not making coin want a man with money. That's the only reason I think this clip is pretty hilarious. Tyler Perry ain't saying nothing that Kevin Samuels ain't said, that men all over the world.
He said the one thing.
Men all over the world have said.
I agree with Mel that he should not, in my opinion, have said, yo, he loved you at your lowest, because that's not a definitive. You can't say she was at her lowest. You can't say she was at her highest.
True, but
everything else that he said, I totally agree with.
But a woman could say
that point right there, he should not have said. I agree. But everything else, no, Mel didn't touch on nothing else.
So if a woman
Yes,
said,
she did. She said, I want niggas, those women want men that are equally yoked. She's saying that.
if a woman said, I loved him at his lowest, would we have the same outrage, Mel?
No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about women who are saying I met a guy and he was at his lowest and I loved him anyways, blah blah blah. No, we hear that story a lot. And the reality of the situation is, when a guy does have money, the reality is that he is going to be able to choose whatever woman that he wants. And a lot of times he's going to want to create the lifestyle that he sees fit for that woman.
So
that's what I'm talking about.
So if we equally yoked, why can't that be the same sentiment from both genders?
Exactly.
You guys do realize that women, we go to work. The expectation is for us to go to work, earn a certain amount of money to support the lifestyles that we become accustomed to. We're also supposed to, carry children, bear them, raise them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just one job. It's like a million. And it's like the expectation of us to be like...
You didn't answer my question, Mel.
How did I not answer it?
My question was, if that is the expectation, then why can't that be expectation across both genders? That was my question.
When it comes to personal preference, anybody can say whatever they want. If a guy says, I don't want to be around broke bitches. I only want women who are on my level financially. I only want women who are on my level professionally. He's well within his right to say that.
Absolutely. Everybody is well within their right to have whatever preference they have. However, I think and what Tyler Perry is saying is that, if and I think I can't tell you why he said black women. I don't know. But if it's any race, it's irrelevant. When you start saying that I make X, and we've had this conversation a zillion times. When you say I make X, let's say X is $400,000. Mm-hmm. Dog, there's a very small number of Americans, regardless of their race, regardless of their gender, regardless of their age, that make that amount of money. Mm-hmm. So you're starting with a very small pool.
Okay.
So when we put a black on it, right, black men, that pool becomes even smaller.
I understand that.
Cool. Black single men, smaller. Black heterosexual men, smaller. Black men that got good dick, smaller. Funny, smaller. Charismatic, smaller. Comedy, got sense of humor, is smaller. So now you are dealing with a very, very, very small number of people. Now you have to accept that it's a numbers game and you may never find that dude. So when you take the money piece off of it, and now opens up your pool to quality men and individuals that you could potentially settle down with, because you have money. Money is not a staple for y'all to survive because you got your own money. Now I'm gonna go settle down with this dope ass man that loves the shit out of me, that is a good provider. Provision is not only financial. He does all of the other things and checks all of the other boxes outside of the financial box. And y'all could go off and sell off and be super duper duper happy. People
Women-
are not
women
opening.
don't wanna do that.
That's what he's saying.
I know.
He's saying that people are not
got that.
opening up their minds to that because when you put that money stipulation on it, you immediately lower your eligible pool of
And
potential suitors.
I'm telling you and him that they don't give a fuck what y'all talking about.
True.
Yeah, they don't get it. I saw people responding to his quote like, "Nigga, only paying a light bill." I'm not even having a conversation with that man. And there's people that really think like that. Like, yo, you gotta come. I don't care. You still gotta come with A, B, C, D. No matter how unrealistic that expectation is, it's still their expectation.
It's true.
And they just never gonna find them.
And you can't be mad at somebody else's preferences at all. You cannot be mad at somebody else's preferences.
Yeah.
Because those are their
Shit.
That's why
preferences.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. That's what they prefer.
Yeah, okay.
That's why when Mel say the equally yoked shit, it's like, all right, can't nobody be mad at somebody that's saying that.
Y'all ain't speaking on. They
No,
get mad.
but if you want to be equally yoked, it's equal at that point. So when the man is up 10 million, 5 million, 400,000, why we not equally? Why the equally yoked thing don't come into play then? Because they look at their yokes as different. So why you can't look at a man's yoke as being different when he's providing all the other things except for the money piece? Then he's doing all that shit. When a woman is a stay-at-home mom, they say, "Yo, dog, I provide this." And that's true. I'm not knocking it at all. The man comes home with the bacon. Shorty does everything else. She fry it up in the pan, like the song used to say. So why, when the lady is the breadwinner, she's corporate, she's kicking ass, she coming in the house at 11 o'clock at night, the man done reared the children, put them to bed, fed them, read to them, did their homework, and did all of those other things. If that works for their specific relationship, that shouldn't be frowned upon.
Well,
That's not a really common narrative that gets
Common
that
or
gets,
uncommon,
that gets told
in
at all.
We're in a theoretical world. We talking about equally yoked, and what
Super.
y'all saying is equally yoked don't mean equally yoked. It only stands as equally yoked when she got the money. You ain't say that when he got the money.
New Joe Budden.